Welcome to stage 5 of the 2016 Tour de France. 198 riders started stage 5 of the 103rd edition of the Tour de France, and not since 2005 have we had a tour without a single rider forced to abandon over the first 4 stages. After several unsuccessful skirmishes and the passing of the Côte de Saint-Léonard-de-Noblat, Raymond Poulidor's hometown, where Jasper Stuyven scored one more point in the King of the Mountains classification that he already led. 9 riders eventually managed to get clear at 21 kilometers. We had Andrei Grifko of Astana, Rafa Majka of Tinkoff, Cyril Gauthier of AG2R Le Mondial, Greg van Avermaet of BMC, Serge Pauwels of Dimension Data, Barots Huzarski of Bora Oregon 18, Thomas de Gent of Lotto Soudal, Romain Sicard of Direct Energy, and Florian Vachon of Fortuno Vital Concept. The front group split again at 85 kilometers after a few surges amongst the riders. 3 of them managed to get away, being Grifko, Van Avermaet and de Gent. At halfway, the leading trio had an advantage of 1 minute 15 over their 6 former breakaway companions, and a massive 9 minutes 50 over the peloton that was led by Team Sky. The difference grew to an eventual 15 minutes 10 seconds with 73 kilometers to go. From 60 kilometers to go, it had dropped to 14:50, and at 50 kilometers to go, 13:50. So the pack only recovered 1 minute between 60 k's to go and 50 k's to go. With 35 kilometers remaining, Movistar took command at the front, while the deficit was still at 11 minutes. Eventually, Grifko couldn't hold the pace anymore that Van Avermaet and de Gent were setting while climbing the Pas de Peyrol with 33 kilometers to go. Several big names got dropped from the peloton after Peter Sagan said goodbye to the yellow jersey. These included Vincenzo Nibali of Astana, Rui Costa of Lampre Merida, Frank Schleck of Trek Segafredo, Ilo Zakarin of Katusha, and Eduardo Sepulveda of Futura Vital Concept. Van Avermaet attacked de Gent to go solo on the ascent of the Col de Pertus, category 3, with 17 kilometers to go. It was a eventual 1-2 for Belgium for the first time since stage 2 of the 2007 Tour de France, when Gert Stegmans won ahead in Ghent ahead of Tom Boonend, as de Gent managed to stay away from the group of favourites and finish 2 minutes 35 behind his compatriot. This is only the second time in the Tour de France that the Tour de France has had a stage finish in Le Lioran, so Van Avermaet has made it a 100% record for Belgium at the ski resort in the Cantal province, where Romain Bardet hails from. The Frenchman, speaking of Bardet, the Frenchman accelerated in the last kilometer, and his action was too strong, causing Alberto Contador to once again get dropped and lose a further 26 seconds, while the remaining GC contenders crossed the line all at the same time. Van Avermaet now has a 5 minutes 11 second lead over Julian Alaphilippe in the overall ranking. 1 year after he claimed his first victory in the Tour de France in stage 3 to Rodez, when he outsprinted Peter Sagan, Greg van Avermaet of BMC Racing stepped up in the history of the race by adding the overall yellow jersey to his brilliant solo win that he got in Le Lioran, by taking over from the Slovakian who's led the race for the past 3 days. In the morning, Van Avermaet stated that he feared the stage in the Massif Central would be too hard for him, but that wasn't the case, as he rode all of his breakaway companions off his wheel in the hills. The yellow jersey holder from German was Jan Becklands in 2013. the last yellow jersey holder from Belgium was Jan Bekkelants in 2013, and this is the 5th yellow jersey in the history of the BMC racing team, after Australians Cadel Evans for 1 day in 2010 and 2 days in 2011, and Rowan Dennis for 1 day in 2015. That brings me to the end of the report back on Stage 5 of the 2016 Tour de France. Be sure to catch the Stage 6 preview that will be coming out in just a couple of hours. And remember to click like, share, subscribe, and post any comments, questions, criticisms that you may have in the comment section down below. Last but by no means least, remember, until we meet again, stay carved up for the win. I'll see you next time. Cheers.